Okay. I have no idea what the hell just happened. OBS fucking crashed. Which sucked. I hope I can get my people back, but if I don't, damn, that sucks. Yeah, that was stupid just now. What the fuck? Valkyrie! Yay! Still here, brother. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. Like, at first it was just a weird disconnect for YouTube via Restream.io. And then I was still streaming to Twitch just fine. And then I cut the stream hoping to just restart it, and then all of OBS crashed. Like, I just got an error report, and it was like, fuck, we're dead. We're dead in the water, man. Done. Gone. Zilch. I was, yeah, I was a bit confused. Yeah, that was odd. Okay. Anyway, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing good. What happened? I don't know. Like, Restream.io was .io just had a fucking fit, and then tell me YouTube specifically disconnected, but Twitch was still streaming. And then I tried to recycle the stream, and all of OBS crashed. I just reopened it. It looks like it's firing on all cylinders again, but I have no clue why the fuck that just happened. Like, there was no signs. Did I offend the machine spirit? I mean, I must have. I must have really pissed that bitch off. Like, I got nothing. That was kind of random. Sorry about that. Guess the stream's now in 2 parts. Just as well, I suppose, because we're almost finished assembling this guy, and I guess that first part was mostly just an assembly stream. So yeah, we'll finish assembling this guy and get to actual painting. We're almost done. We're almost there. Almost there. Yeah, that was weird. Okay, so we got all the extra bits on there. Yeah, a couple of extra things. Anywho, sorry about that. Wait. Nice. I'm gonna chop off the head from the sprue. Don't even need to do any sanding, thank God. There we go. Did you forget to wash your computer with oil and give it its daily prayers? Yes. Yes, I did. I'll have to correct that later. I'll get the incense out. Don't worry. We'll make sure that machine spirit is well oiled and well lubricated and well satisfied. Giggity. Sorry, I'm immature. I'm a 5-year-old. I admit that. I'm okay with it, though. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. No, I don't know why I just started singing. Anyway, so let's get this bad boy glued on, and then we can finally get to the painting. Finally get to the painting stage? We're doing that tonight, Asmo? How generous of you. Well, I felt good. Felt like it was owed. There we go. Alright, so let's do that one. And you stay on, you bitch. And from there, we gotta do the head. Gotta do that there head. Actually, first things first. Gotta scrape off that there mold line. By the way, do not take tips from me on the safe method of doing this. I'm not very safe with an X-Acto knife. I have cut myself many times due to that inability to practice basic safety protocols. These fingers have been mauled quite thoroughly, and not because some stranger has a torture fetish on me. Just because I can't fucking aim. Dude, you're watching a lot of Gamza videos? Not really. I mean, other than the one last night, I really haven't watched any. Before the one last night about him getting hit by GW, the last one I watched was, fuck, what was the last one? It's been a while. I haven't really been interested in him covering, like, 3D printing and stuff. Not anything against his coverage of it. It's just, I feel like there are a bunch of advertisements for his own stuff, which they are, you know, like that. There's nothing wrong with that, but like for me, I don't find like as entertaining as he can be. I don't find like that marketing, like he's basically just making a bunch of ads for himself. And again, he's entertaining, and I'm sure that those videos were entertaining. I'm sure he brought some energy and humor, but for me personally, it's just, you know, I haven't been interested in checking him out, knowing that he's just gonna advertise me heavily, his minis in all the videos. Again, I get the hustle, don't hold it against him, it's just, it does turn me off from watching a little bit, so. That was just me, but the last, like, Gambler video I watched, shit, what was the last one I watched? I don't know, I'd have to actually look it up, I don't even remember. Good news, you found some chain sword arms from Cromlech. Cromlech, yes. Cromlech EU. They are very good. I've heard nothing but good things about them over the years. A lot of people really stand by them too, which is good to see. It's kind of sad people stand by Cromlech more than I think they stand by GW. It's like, hey, you know these guys who just sell bits and stuff in their own custom crap? Yeah, well, we like them more than the company that produces the game. That's just a sad day. Right now, we simply place the head in the slot. If it'll go the fuck in. There we go. Oh, his neck's in a fucking tie. Or is it supposed to? No, it's supposed to kind of go the other way, actually. Got it. Ah! Accidentally jabbed the knife under your nail. Ooh. Just as you described that, I can feel that in my veins. Ugh. There we go. Boom. I got the head in. Look at that. He's almost fully assembled. Hell yeah! Yeah, cool. That conjures up some horrific imagery, my friend. I would not want to be on the receiving end of that. Any other mold lines I should be worried about? Doesn't look like it. It's pretty mold line free. Just know if this wasn't an HQ, I wouldn't be worrying about it as much. But HQs, I do think, need that extra, like, careful hand with cleaning and stuff. I am of a firm believer, though, that clean as much as you want. Like, there's no standard. There are a lot of hobbyists out there, I think, who take it a little far with how much they enforce, like, what they see as, like, necessary rules or, like, things you have to do. Otherwise, you deserve to be, quote-unquote, criticized for not doing it. It's like, it's not really necessary. I know they think that it's necessary, but to the rest of the human race that don't have an issue, no, it doesn't matter. I don't know, I swear some people are like a little overboard with, like, you know, like, oh, if your mini has a single mold line, fuck you, you're not a real fan, you're a horrible hobbyist. It's like, Jesus Christ. Guys, take the razor-studded dildo out of your rectum, for Christ's sake. It doesn't need to be up there, I promise you. Okay, so it's looking like the gun goes over here. Yep, fits right in right there. So before we even place it though, does need a wee bit of sanding on that there spot. Alright, there we go. So we sanded that bad boy down. Got rid of the impurities. So, let's lay down the law. Lay down the country law. There we go. Boom. Boom, chakalaka, baby. Alright, one last piece. And then we can decorate the base with some extra bits I got. And then we'll move on to painting. Move on to painting more of them there here blood angels. Blood angels. But I'm still very proud of how the scrolls came out. I wasn't actually expecting them to come out very good, but they did. They came out beautiful. Beautiful. I was also, again, very, very happy with how the free hands I did on the pauldrons also came out beautiful. Not to praise my own shit too much, but mwah, baby baby, that was a beautiful. That was perfection. You know how I know? Because I did it. Ha! God. Anyway, sorry. I really shouldn't make myself laugh. It's kind of stupid. 2 messages got retracted. Okay. Weird. Let me go here somewhere. Okay. Supposedly. Trying to find where they lock in for it. Try to glue down. Okay. Come on. Where are you supposed to go? There we go. Okay, right there. Found the lock-in spot, so that's where it's supposed to go. So let's sand off the impurities here. Apologize if you can hear my dog. He's kind of losing his shit a little bit. As if on cue, he just got closer to my room. HQ give me Astaroth the Grim vibes. Yeah, this HQ is I'll actually pull up the codex in a second here. The Liber Astartes in a second here. And I'll read his entry for you. Because the thing is, apparently Dominion Zephon is not a type of HQ. It's a specific individual. Like, Dominion is a guy's first name. And Zephon is his actual last name. It sounds like a unit type, doesn't it? Like Dominion Zephon, but no, like this guy actually is a person. Yeah, he's a person. Dominion Zephon, the Bringer of Sorrow. He's a literal dude. It's not a unit type. It's not an HQ type. It's an individual. It's a character. Which is weird to me. It's like, what? You know? A name like that sounds like a unit type. Like a Dominion Zephon. Not the Dominion Zephon. I don't know. Names. Blood Angel names. They're pretentious. Dominion sounds like a rank, not a proper... I know, right? Like, it threw me off when I found out it was a character. But no, that's his name. Like, imagine your first name is Dominion. Like, hey, what's your first name, friend? My name's Dominion. What's your last name? Zephon. Your name's Dominion Zephon. Are you fucking with me? That would be my reaction. I'd be like, hey, I'm being fucked with. I'm like, no, I'm not being fucked with. You're just dumb. Come on, where are you? I just had the lock-in spot. Where were you? Usually you can feel it. Oh, there it is. Ooh. Squidge the glue. Lock in place. Let it dry. And while we let it dry, let's select some unique bits to put on the base. Alright. I grab my bits box. With what some people name their kids these days, I'm not surprised, just disappointed. Holy crap, that's a cool title. Yeah, the Bringer of Sorrow. He must be fun at parties. Hey, who should we invite to like the latest Blood Angels victory party? You know Dominion Zephon? Yeah. Did you hear what his title is? What? Bringer of Sorrow. Okay, maybe take him off the list, you know? Like, I want this party to be fun. Okay, so what are some good bits? I could put an orc head on there. You know, he's just killed an orc, but given this is a heresy... Actually... Well, no, that wouldn't make sense. Or would it? No, hold on. I could have sworn I had a ton of heads in here. Please. I will actually. What I'll do is I will glue him on first and glue stuff around him. Yeah, I think that's a better way to do it. That way I can like place stuff up against him. Yeah, so according to putting him on the base, pretty much put him dead center, don't I? Yeah, more or less dead center on the base. Alright, so... I put a generous amount of glue because I want my shit to stay. He's pretty secure on the base. Boom. So what's Zephon rank anyway? Well, he's an HQ. Let me go, while we let that dry, let me go grab the Liber Astartes. The Liber Legionis Astartes. Oh god, this book is thick. Thicker than your mama. Anywho. Okay, so... Okay, Dominion Zephon. Okay, he's 185 points. He's 185 points. He's an HQ. Unit type, infantry. Unique character. Unit composition, 1 Dominion Zephon. War gear, artificer armor, the spiritum sanguine. Lament in grief, iron halo, frag grenades, crack grenades, rad grenades, melta bombs. The guy's a bit of a boomer. Legion Warhawk jump pack. Obviously, that would be the jump pack. Now, Dominion Zephon was both a warrior and an artist of great renown, whose exemplary record was abruptly cut short when his body was maimed by a Xenos blade during the Great Crusade. The bionics replacing his lost limbs refused to integrate with his body, taking away his ability to fight and create art, and so Zephon solemnly accepted the duty and dubious honor of representing the Blood Angels Legion as part of the Crusader host on Terra. When the Horus Heresy broke out, Zephon was recruited by the Legio Custodes to fight in the Webway War, where he earned the respect and friendship of the techno-archaeologist Archon Land. Land took it upon himself to repair Zephon's broken body, and the Bringer of Sorrow was born again, just as word of the Blood Angel's return reached Terra. He eagerly rejoined the ranks of the Legion who embraced him, even though he was a haunting reminder of glorious past forever lost. Dominion Zephon. So yeah, I was surprised to learn this guy is a unique character, and that is he's not a unit type. His name is... Like, your parents gotta have, like, an idea of your career path when they name you Dominion. I'm sorry, that's such a specific name. Oh, God. Anyway. Now, let's bring some bits over here. Now, what I could do is, because I'm replacing all of these guys' heads with my 3D printed Mark IVs, I'm thinking I'll go grab, if I can, I'll go grab a bunch of the, I'll go a bunch of the beaky helms and put them all around them and paint them as, I don't know, just for the contrast with the red, I'd probably paint them as, Emperor's Children. Because I got some Phoenician purple lying around somewhere. Wouldn't he have discarded his old name upon becoming a full-fledged Astartes, though? No. The thing is, I think you're thinking post 30k. You're thinking 40k lore. 40k lore, that's more common, because they also... A lot of chapters in 40k have, like a societal policy to, like, strip them, their aspirants, of their memories of being human. Whereas in 30k, that wasn't necessary. In fact, most Astartes during the Great Crusade had all their memories of being human. Like, they remember being people before becoming Astartes. They remember the lives that they led. They remember the events that they took part in. Astartes during 30k are a very different beast to the Astartes we know in 40k. So, no. Most Astartes during this time would have kept their original name. They would have even kept some level of contact, or at least, if not contact, a attachment to their homeworld, like the Dark Angels to Caliban, the Space Wolves to Fenris, Blood Angels to Bal Secundus. All of them would have maintained a connection and affection for their home, and would have remembered their families, would have remembered siblings, would have remembered the lives that they led. It's just once they became Astartes, they were probably never going to see home again. Not necessarily ever, but by the time they'd return, centuries would have passed. The very first Astartes recruited in certain legions fought for 300 plus years straight, and by the time they would have returned to their home, if the heresy hadn't broken out, and that's assuming they would have even gotten it, we still don't know what would have happened if all of the worlds of the Imperium had finally been brought under the Imperium's banner. We still don't know what would have happened. There's a lot of theories. I personally believe the Emperor would have betrayed the Astartes like he did the Thunder Warriors. And I don't know if, to the extent, I think he would have killed the Primarchs and killed a lot of the loyal troops to the Primarchs specifically, and would have kept some around. I don't know. It's really hard to say exactly, because it's all theory, right? Like, we have no idea what the original plan was back in the old lore. Like, what was the idea of what the Emperor was going to have done. We do know that he cared about Horus, though, and, like, during that final fight between them and the Heresy, he cared about him enough to not want to kill him. So, I don't know. There's so much room to debate what the Emperor and Malkador's plan was post-Heresy. Was the Emperor going to kill the Primarchs and also the Astartes? Was he going to replace them with something that's more designed to be peacekeepers? Or was he just going to have the Imperial Army be the protection force of humanity? Let humans protect humans? Was he going to first bring humanity to a technological level universally where they basically couldn't have an army like the Men of Iron, but obviously not AI, so they don't have to fear what the Age of Strife brought? Sorry, no, the Age of Strife is is when the warp, the Dark Age of Technology. You know, not wanting to bring that back. I don't know. Again, this is one of those things that is meant to be debated heavily in the community, and it's all down to subjective, like, out of what you've read and what you've interpreted from it, and what you've taken away from it, and also what you consider canon, because there is now that division in the community. There's old lore and new lore. I'm old lore, personally. I don't like next to anything of the new lore. Like, I'm not a fan of them waking up Gilliman. I don't like the Primaris. Like, there's a shit ton of new lore I hate, so I tend to stick to old school lore. When I look at stuff, like older books, older stories, back when I know for a fact the writing wasn't being influenced by dumb shit like politics. And when I typically think of what the Emperor would have done, personally, I usually walk away believing he would have killed the Primarchs and would have killed the majority of the Astartes and would have probably put something else in their place. Something not designed for conquer and war, but designed more for security and defense. Again, this is what I get out of it from what I've read and everything I've absorbed about the Emperor and Malkador and everything that they achieved, or didn't achieve, more aptly. So it's no small feat in this debate of what would have happened. But yeah, anyway, point is, to circle back, the most Astartes during 30k would definitely have had memories, attachments, and also their original names. Like, all the things that we know in 40k got cast aside for security and other purposes. In 30k wasn't the case. It's the same reason why humans during 30k looked at Astartes not like they do in 40. In 40k, they revere them as demigods or as gods, but in Warhammer 30k, in Horus Heresy, you see it and you hear it in the books all the time. They do revere the Astartes and they recognize them as being genetic super soldiers, but they don't revere them like gods or demigods or apostles of the Emperor. They don't even see the Emperor as a god. So they interact with them like normal people. Even oftentimes trying to bully them or flex their authority on them. Like, if you ever want to see an example of that, read the Legion book. That's, in my opinion, is the best example, because in that, the Alpha Legion is the main Astartes Legion that we see being showcased, and what they do during that is pretty nutty. So anyway, yeah. Sorry, I had a bit of a rant there. So real quick, let's dot his base with some stuff, and let that dry, and then we'll get to actually painting. Gotta be careful with my bits box. Can't put to anything too crazy, I guess. Alright, so I'll put that head in there, I think. We'll put that head, and I'm gonna go run and grab my beaky helms, the excess ones. Get back! Fuck you! Anyway, so I'm gonna go grab my beaky helms, the spare ones, because I 3D printed the Mark IV helms for these guys. I'll go grab the spare ones that would have been glued on these guys from the box. I'm gonna grab a couple of them real quick, so we can dot the base with it a little bit, give it some little extra decor. And when we do that, we'll let it dry, and we'll move on to painting more of these bad boys. So, be right back. Alright. Oh, fuck. Alright, so I think I got I think I'll do... Yeah, we'll do... What's a fair number of beakies to throw in there? Might be a bit extreme if we, like, dot, like, a ton of them on the base. So... Picture in picture in picture in picture. Yeah, I think that'll do. Boom. Yeah, so I think 4 heads is probably fair enough. Any more than that, and I think we're going a little paradoxical. Alright, so first things first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna snip off the ends here. There we go. Yeah, I snip those off. And then with more of a bigger file here. I'm gonna file that down. And we're gonna place the head here. Yeah, I'm pretty big on like decorating the bases, you know, giving them a unique feel. The good part of Zephon is that he would work fine as a Centurion champion with a Paragon blade for a Blood Angel Rite of War. Good point, actually. That is actually a pretty good point. Pretty solid point. And you are correct. Oh, man. Alright, so. This next one, I want to try some creative also. First things first, though. So, remove the bottom part. Now the tricky part is I'm going to try and do something a little brave of me, I guess would be the phrase. Oh my God. I don't know. Brave might be a bit bold. Again, always be willing to experiment. Things. All right, so now that we've made a little bit of a breach, now for the creative part. At least, again, don't want to self-aggrandize and call it that too much. so we gotta make the breach a bit bigger. Not trying to snip the head all the way through. Trying to get chain bayonet in there. I guess what I can do is I can chop off the end. And then file down the corners. Just a wee bit. How does that look? That's as good as I'm gonna get, so we'll go. Wedge that in the skull. Down the base there. I dropped a head and I'm not going to go and find it, so we'll just snip off another head here, shall we? Cause that easy. Yeah, that new Angron model. Be curious to see his stats. I know they're releasing the codex. Have they already released the new Demon Chaos? Sorry. Fucking. Pizza is finished, and in front of me, glass of pink lemonade off to my side. Streamer is taking heads. Good Friday evening start, I suppose. Hey, could you ask for a better Friday? I don't think so. I think I provide the penultimate experience, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so... Oh, that's decent. Alright. There. And finally you. I don't know if I can do that, though. So what it is, I cut his cap off. With the intent of putting half of his face no, that's gonna work. I can still leave his cap on there though. Like it should clearly cut his scalp off. But the actual face part isn't gonna come out well, so just gonna leave that off. Now, so we get hello, Joker. What are you still doing up? What are you still doing up, you lovely lass? You Spanish beauty from across the pond, how are you? Hope you're doing well. See if I can add a bullet hole there. I don't have my drill on me, so I'm gonna see if I can do it with my X-Acto knife. It's deeper than that. No Chaos Demon stuff yet. I think Angron's gonna be part of their World Eater release, so that'll be cool. Alright, so that looks like a decent bullet hole. Actually, come to think of it, probably look better if it's not like this. sure the battle damage is clear on them beaky boys.
Unclear enough, they got fucked.
Yeah, Tan, you're gonna keep me up a bit with Age of Empires. Did you have fun? Or are you guys still playing? You guys are still playing. Nice. Nice. Alright, so we got a bullet hole in there. Got a grave on his beak. What do we do with you? We'll do 2 bullet holes. Do them both in the back of the head. Actually, they look more like bullet holes with the X-Acto knife, to be honest. Still playing, she was training. Ah, I see. You were tutelaging the young lass. Well done. Did you learn? Was your experience? Did he? Look at that bullet hole. He took a bit of a stinger in the back there. God damn. I had fun. So, 2 bullet holes, bullet hole to the side of the head, plus a scrape on the front, and this bad boy has got his head impaled in with a chain bayonet.
I am the master of decor.
Boom. And the rest of the base I will fill up with other stuff. Meh day, I got some lady pains. And I was a bit mad at some package that hasn't arrived yet, but other than that, fine, especially after joining VR. Okay, fair enough. VR. You have a VR system? Is it HTC Vive or the PS5 stuff? PS5, what is it, PlayStation VR? Whatever it is. Which do you got? I know those are the 2 most popular. Or do you have Oculus? Maybe you have Oculus. I know they're a bit of the rogue one. Alright, so finally we're done with the Dominion Zephon, except maybe a little bit of cleanup here. There's a bit of a mold line there. Not too horrid of a one, but certainly bad enough, worth addressing. Yeah, we did pretty good at cleaning up the model. Like, there's very few mold lines left, if any. Sorry, VC. Ah, okay. Voice check. Gotcha.
Well, I'm glad it made your day a bit better. We try to do that. We're lovable lugs. But we're still lugs. We're still quirky people. We have our days. We have our good and bad. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, boom. Yeah, so I'll probably paint them as, words. Fuck. Emperor's Children. Why that takes so long to come back to me? Yeah, because I got Phoenician purple, and royal purple too. So I might do a mix. But yeah, I got some of that to mix with. I could also do another one, but you know, I think that fits. Kind of a dichotomy between the Blood Angels and the Emperor's Children. Anyway, has always been interesting to me. Anywho, let me clean this up real quick, and we'll get to actual painting tonight.
I know, what a concept. Asmo, you did it. You finally made it to the painting part of a painting stream, you fucking idiot. My God, did you just learn how to title your shit yesterday? Fuck!
Alright. It's bad. I can the fact that I can make myself laugh, that's just sad. I'm my own best friend. I know, I'm super fast in the cleanup. Forgive me. Forgive me.
I'm singing in the rain. I'm singing in the rain.
Why does anybody watch me? I don't know. I don't pretend to know. People have their reasons, I'm sure. I'm sure there's some devious motivation deep down. Alright. Sanding sticks. Little grapplers.
Yes.
Right here. Right here. Now, this begs the question. Do I paint the two of them as like a batch paint together, or do I paint this bad boy? This guy is going to take a little bit longer. Obviously, he's got that shit on him. Plus decorativeness. Plus, he's got the plasma weapon, which are always fun to paint. Loads of fun. Totally. Not at all a nightmare. By any stretch of the imagination. Totally a joy. An absolute joy. Let me place
Dominion Zephon over to dry. Handle.
Alright, now to just kind of find my sweet spot. Batch paint the two. Okay. We watch you because we find you entertaining, you dingus. Well, I'm glad you find me entertaining. I would hope so. Alright, so boom. Sweet spot. I tend to lift up on the mini. Autofocus.
Autofocus, there it goes. There it goes, yeah, there it goes. There it goes, yeah.
I'm singing in the rain. Yeah, I did, but again, to kind of circle jerk myself a little bit here, I really am proud of that. That came out way better than I was expecting. Ain't all of these did, to be honest. Like, that is surprising how well those came out. Like,
I got a squad of the sexiest armbands in the galaxy.
yeah.
I'm prideful.
Pride is a sin I am proud of, a sin I am proud of. Yeah. The irony in that statement. Alright, so I need to grab some paper towel and fill up my 2 jars of water real quick. Yeah. Batch paint the 2. I suppose that's fair. Identically, I should batch paint the 4. Because all I got left to the squad is these 5. I feel like I'm missing one. Hold on. Am I? I have to be, because the count should be a squad of 10, but I have 9 here.
Who ran away? Someone ran away. Made a break for it. That motherfucker.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's 9.
Where's number 10?
Something the pride. Something fall. Something complete. I must have left number 10 downstairs. Yeah, batch paint's probably the way to go. I'll probably paint this bad boy as well. Alright, so yeah, let me go look for number 10 real quick. I don't want to drag this. And while I go grab water anyway, I'll be right back. No, hold on. Signal has been fucking awful tonight. What the fuck is going on? I don't know what's going on with my signal. Like, it has been tanking. What the fuck? I really gotta figure out these issues. Yeah, some days the streaming is smooth and buttery. Some days it's just like every 10 minutes it's like fighting me. Anyway, so I'm gonna put him right there. There's nothing to be proud of, I suppose. Alright, I'll be right back. we are back. Back. And he's back. Back again. And he's back. And he's back. And he's back. Alright. Now we need the right brushes. Need the right brushes. Make your thine selves known to me. Alright, so I was hoping not to use new ones, but I don't see... Oh no, there it is. Get out of there. Fuck. Kind of losing their strength there. Alright, so we'll put the sergeant on the side for now, and we'll batch paint these guys. So since we're batch painting, I'll keep one of them on the handle, but that's about all I can do for right now. If he ran away is like Toy Story all over again, or maybe Small Soldiers. Asmo's back. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Tell a girlfriend. Tell a boyfriend. I don't know. Tell everybody. Tell your mother. Tell your aunt. Tell your second cousin once removed. Twice removed. I don't know. Fuck it. Let's go rogue. Let's go 4 times removed. I don't know. There you go. I'm a weirdo. I accept this part of my nature, but it is something to note. Who's the weirdest one of them all? That would be you. Ah, I knew something was off. What was the first clue? Oh shoot. I left my paints over there. Come here. Ah. There we go. Asmo's well prepared, isn't he? He knows what he's doing. We swear. Not gonna lie, my room is like a fucking oven. I just turned off the fan too, that way the paints wouldn't dry as fast. Because unfortunately, with the fan on, everything dries faster, which is good if the paint is on the mini. It's not good if it's on the brush. It's like, hey, that paint dried right on the brush. Now I can't do nothing. Slim Shady reference right over his head. No, I knew it was a Slim Shady reference. Cool. Okay, so now let's get underway with the batch paint. And again, just for reference, this is the quality level we're going for. Not all of them are gonna have this gold mouth guard piece. That is gonna be a rare one on most of them. The sergeant is gonna have a full gold helm because that's how the Blood Angels denote their sergeants, is they give them a pure gold helm. But if a unit has a gold mouthguard piece, it's... Well, let me pull up the book specifically so I don't misquote here. Hold on.
Pull up the references!
Alright, so... a legionary veteran with a gold mouthpiece is a veteran legionary. So it literally just denotes that they've been there a while. It's like, this guy's survived a few battles. Give him a gold mouthpiece. Genius. Alright. Yeah, so it just denotes veteranhood for some of the legionaries. So I like having a diverse mix amongst my squads. Okay. Alright, boom. So yeah, we got those for references. Sergeant will be saved for last as his own piece. The rest will be batch painted. So I've already started on 2 of them with the studs. So we're going to do that for the remainder. Fortunately, the gold on my paint palette is extremely watered down. So we're gonna have to put some more on the pallet. So I'm starting with the gold studs, even though other bits are going to be gold later, because the studs are the most individually time consuming. A little bit, because I like to get them right the first time I go through them. I don't like to go back through with the studs, so I'm very careful with how I apply the gold there. As it is, he needs a bit of a touch up. Studdedry. Not too much, thankfully. Yeah, pretty much it, just there. Alright, apply it fresh to this guy. So, dip. Got them. Yeah, it's fine if there's a little bit of a scratchy bleed through on the rest of it. I'm okay with that. I will go back through and clean those parts anyway. So they all got that. And do a little bit of cleanup. old-fashioned Astartes bling, always a good touch. Yes, indeed. Indeed it is. Indeed it fucking is, man. Actually, that's not entirely true, Lane Lintic. The Blood Angels and the Emperor's Children were actually very big on bling. So were the Custodes, but the Custodes literally wear all gold armor, so it's kind of a given. But yeah, Blood Angels and the Emperor's Children were very big on it. Because in the case of the Blood Angels, you know, they're artisans, they're craftsmen, they value art and history and, you know, like the better things in life, one would call it. Same with the Emperor's Children, you know, they valued perfection, they valued artistry, they valued expression. So yeah, they were the more fancy schmancy kind of legions. The difference is the Blood Angels had a good reputation despite it because they also still had a huge emphasis on their combative ability. They were very proudful of their ability to fight in battle and how well they did. The Blood Angels also never over-presented or overstated their more, I guess you would call it, flamboyant aspects. They're more artistry-focused stuff. Whereas the Emperor's Children did. The Emperor's Children were very much about gold trim, they were about bright colors, they were about keeping their armor freshly polished and painted before every battle. They were like the more extreme bad of how the Blood Angels kind of approached it. The Blood Angels, it was more about, you know, being regal and like showcasing the nobility of an Astartes, giving them a little bit more bling. But it was never overstated and it was never stressed as something important to them. Just something that they liked to do. Alright, so I got the gold on there. I think next we're going to do what is going to be time consuming, which is applying the Corvus Black. This is going to take a hot minute. This is the most prominent color other than red on each of the models, so prepare to see a lot of Corvus Black. Because it sees you. It's out to get you. Corvus Black. I don't know, for some reason Sirius Black came to mind from Harry Potter. That was fucking weird. My brain was just like, Sirius Black? I'm like, what? We're talking 40k, not fucking Harry Potter. Oh, God. That's when you know you're a fucking nerd. Why? Because you fucking thought of Harry Potter and you're painting a miniature, you fucking weirdo. Anyway. Good news is the backpack's like 90% black. Corvus Black, so you can pretty much be a little messy with it. Yeah, and you're gonna paint over those bits as well with lead belcher, so no need to stress about that. Only thing you need to stress about is not hitting the rest of the armor. Black Templars, yo? These aren't Black Templars. Although, fun fact, if you want to paint Black Templars, don't use Abaddon Black or a pure black. Use Corvus Black. It's a gray black. It's better to use gray black for blacks than it is black black. Because black black will absorb light and won't look as good. And when you highlight it or you make mistakes on it, it's a lot worse. So Corvus Black, though, it's a slightly more lighter... Like, it's a really, really dark gray. Like, almost black, but not quite, so you can still do highlights and stuff to it without it looking too crazy. And it doesn't absorb as much light, so you don't have to worry about... you don't have to worry about it being too striking and over the top. Thankfully. All them coats, brother. I'll have to fix that nick I just got there. Right there doesn't want to go. Have to let that dry, I guess. Well, so I'm here, so I think I need to go to sleep. By the way, I made some promo of you because you deserve it. Wait, what? I don't know if it'll do anything, but I've done it. Hope you don't mind. Wait, what? Can I get... Wait, what? Promo? What? Can I get, like, a little bit more detail than that, Joker? Promo of me? What? I now have questions. I don't know what that means. Gotcha, that's great, because I want to give my Firstborn Crusaders a good deal of weathering anyways, especially my command characters. Ah, okay. Gotcha. Naito. Nito, not Naito. Nito, not Naito! God damn, Nito, man! Nito! Also, I deserve it? I don't know. I try and be friendly and nice. I don't know. I'd hope I deserve it, but that's up for debate. Subjective opinion, of course. Promo, though. I'm not sure what that means. I have questions. Okay, so what else is black before I move on? Yes. Yeah, their gun is pretty much going to be all black. All the grenades. Like a tweet. Oh, okay. Let's retweets your stuff. And true journals on other accounts of mine, like DeviantArt. Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, I appreciate it, Joker. Promo was right. Promo works. I just wasn't sure what you meant. Like I was confused. I was like, what? Promo. Promo means something very specific to me. Tongue-tied. It's very specific to me. Advertisement, noise. That is incredibly generous, and I do appreciate it, Joker. Thank you.
I always appreciate it when I get attention because I'm a whore.
I can't be anyway. I know. That's
part of being a social media person is you want attention.
Yeah, but I do appreciate it. Thank you. Actually, jokes aside, with some YouTubers and content creators in terms of how hard they go at like self-promotion and advertisement stuff, I don't think calling some of them that would be too far off. Like some content creators go a little over the top of what's like reasonable. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm going to have to do plenty of corrective painting on this one. But that's worth it. In the end, that it all looks nice and dandy.
Dandy! What about that dandy?
I heard my phone... Well, apparently my dinner is not happening, so more time to paint, I suppose. I will figure something else out. You see some more? I see some war gear, and I want to paint it black. Da 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 da. Nighty night, Joker. Sleep well. Not to bed, I go. Yes, rest well. Rest well indeed. You deserve every little bit of rest you get. In spades. Doggo wasn't happy you said you weren't doing dinner, mostly because Doggo wants to beg while you eat. Said dinner, probably. Nah, he's just not happy because my mom's not home. He is her dog through and through, and he's attached at the hip to her when she's home, so he misses Mama. That's all. They're on their way home though. He should calm down when they get here. Until then, he's gonna whine. It's not too bad, though. Oh, yes. There most definitely would be quite a bit of corrective painting. He's a mama's doggo? Yes. He's 100% a mama's doggo. That's not even remotely in debate. He likes me enough, but he needs his mama. Otherwise, he's an unhappy dog. Ah, shoot. Your Staffy Pit is with you? Yeah. Mastiff Pitbull mix? Is that what that is? If so, damn, it must be a big dog. Pitbull Mastiff. Jeez. She's a Pitbull Staffy mix. Like a Staffordshire, I think. She's not too big, around 60, 70 pounds. Oh, that's not too bad. Still pretty big, but that's not too bad. So the Pitbull Mastiff, that's still bigger than the average, that's for sure. Your mom's dog is a purebred blue-nosed pit bull. She's a 50-pound lap dog. Nice. Yeah, we got a quarter wolf, three-quarter Keyshawn with my dog Doo-Doo. That's not the one whining. And the one whining is a purebred basset hound, and he is attached at the hip to my mother. Lovable dog, they both are. I mean, Doo-Doo is a bit like hyper. Her name's Juno, but we call her Doo-Doo for short. And she's a bit, as me and my mom have been phrasing it, tatted. She's kind of missing a few brain cells. But to be fair, her first owners used a shock collar on her, so to be honest, I think that fried some of her brain cells. And I don't even know if that's a joke as much as that is just kind of a statement of fact. Based on her attitude, she's a little weird. A little quirky. Yeah, some behaviors are weird, but not too weird for a dog. Like, we'll give her a treat, but if she's not in the mood for the treat, she'll just leave it there. But if our basset hound tries to eat it, she'll, like, bite him off and be like, no, mine. But she still won't eat it. But she'll take it from him. 'Cause she's a cow. It's like, you can share, you know, you fucking hoarder. You don't even want to eat it right now. You just don't want to have him eat it. Well, I want it for later. That's what she kind of says with her eyes. And we're like, we don't fucking care. Let him have it if you're not going to eat it right this second. We'll give you another one later. Got a promise? Maybe. I don't like maybe. I like certainties. Well, too bad. We live in a world of uncertainties. Poor Juno. Why? She has a pretty happy life. She likes hunting rats, and we have quite a few of them around our barn. So every night, my mom takes her out there, and she's always super hyper and excited. She's like, oh my god! Rats! I gotta kill rats! Oh my god! Let me out! Let me out! Let me out! And she like loses her mind. And then we let her loose. And like the maniac she is, she runs right out the fucking door, goes right for the barn, and usually she catches 1 to 2. That's her average so far. Not every night, some nights are duds, but she's been pretty damn good at it. She's very prolific at rat hunting. She's got a natural talent for it. And to be fair, Keyshawns are bred to be barge dogs. You know, they live on boats. And they hunt rats and other rhododendron shit that sneak on boats and, you know, travel across the Thames, so to speak. But the wolf in her also kind of comes out with, like, the hunting stuff. The shock collar? Yeah. Yeah, her previous owners were bad. They were pretty bad. They called her original name was Pupcake. Like, unironically, it was on her collar and everything. Pupcuck. Sorry, C-A-C. Yeah, fuck, I can't even spell today. C-A-K-E. Sorry. P-U-P-C-A-K-E. Pupcake. It was fucking dumb. We threw out that collar, and we threw out her name tag, like, the moment they left. And we spent, like, half the night figuring out a name for her. And we came up with Juno. Because when we looked at her papers and we saw she was a quarter wolf, like Luna, Wool, Moon. Nah, Luna, that's kind of cliche. What about another planetary cluster? You have Jupiter. Nah, Jupiter, not really good for facilitating nicknames. So then we kind of finally worked our way to Juno. We're like, hey, Juno. My mom was resistant to it first, but she's embraced it more than anybody else. And now at this point, we don't even really call her that. We just call her. She probably wouldn't respond to it at this point, but she does respond to Doo-Doo. It's basically her name now. Do. How you sing that near her, and she'll be like running towards you. She's like, I've been called. It's the doo-doo alarm. Your mom's dog, Pebbles. Pebbles. We are her fourth family. Poor girl is very timid, but very comfy now with us. That's good. She's comfy with you guys now. My family's home, I can tell, because my dogs are barking. So sing the Doom song, she'll come running. Yes, she actually probably would. Doomy doomy doom da doom doom. Doomy doomy doom da doom. I'm gonna sing the Doom song now. Doomy doomy doom da doom. Doomy doomy doo da doo doom. Doomy doomy doom da doom doom. Doomy doomy doom da doom. Like 7 months later. Doo da doo 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 doo. Do 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 do. Girl, would you please stop singing? Puts finger out to silence Zim. And then Zim goes for the throat. Or intends to, anyway. That show was fucked up, but I loved it. Thought every kid who grew up watching it. So what if we were scarred for life? It's like, hey, you remember that episode where Gur stole people's intestines to seem more human? Yep, I do. Scarred into my frontal cortex. Oh, God. Kids nowadays don't know what they're missing. They could have had that. They could have had Gur stealing people's intestines to seem more human. Bacon. Oh, I missed that show. Yep, kids nowadays don't know what they're missing. We had it good. I swear to kid, 90s kids and early 2000s kids lived in the perfect era. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but like, as close as you kind of can get, like, it was at least hyper-politicized. It was had some of the best TV shows and entertainment. Hollywood respected a kid's IQ. Remotely, anyway. You know, we had shows like Avatar: Last Airbender in the early 2000s. You had fucking great movies. Not like as great as the 80s. The 80s probably won in that department in terms of movies. And the 70s, the 70s had some pretty iconic films, but like overall, most of their films kind of sucked. But they spit out some iconic ones that lasted for generations. Yeah, but 90s, though, had more good films, I would say. It had more good films. Not as many iconic films, but more good films than the 80s did. So I guess in that regard, 90s and early 2000s kind of won. Bunch of weenies. Yeah, the parenting nowadays is... Oh, boy. Modern parents, man. They, it takes a lot out of me every day not to comment when I see bad parenting. And considering I live in a I work, well, I'm there most of my day, so I guess at this point kind of feels like it. But I work at a grocery store. I see it every day. And every day, all I think of is, like, those people on, like, Twitter and stuff that constantly say, like, it's, like, it's current year, we shouldn't be doing stuff like this. Like, we're more evolved as a species. And then I see, like, a fucking gigantic woman, we'll say. A gigantic woman with a leash on her kid. Like, a straight-up leash to, like, a little, like, chest jacket thing. Letting her kid drag her along as she constantly is saying, "No, Timothy, we have to go check out the candy and get some chips." And the kid is cussing at her and calling her all these bad fucking words at the age of 5. And shouldn't even know what half that shit means. And she just doesn't even care that other people give her looks. And if she catches someone giving her a look like you're a fucking bad parent, she's like, What? You think you do better? You think you do better? No, you couldn't. No, you couldn't. Freaking gave you attitude, act like a Karen. I may or may not be reciting actual incidences that I've seen, not just an anecdote. Sorry, not just a theoretical situation. Just saying, I've seen some shit, and yeah. Yeah, sure, human race has totally evolved. Not regressed in any way. It's current year, we shouldn't be doing things like this. It's like, fucking, we haven't changed in the last couple 100,000 years. Only difference between us and the Neanderthals is we have more... we survived that fight because we had more numbers, and B, we can process more information, and because of that we think we're smarter. We're not. We're dumb as fuck. Not to get too nihilistic on you. I don't know. I still have hope for some of humanity, but the thing is, the vast majority of people, it can be kind of stupid. But that's okay. That's kind of the human race in a nutshell. It's like, some of us are exceptional, but the rest are, no. You ever want a movie that straight up predicts the future? To a prophetic degree? And I know I'm not talking Simpsons. Oh, Simpsons do that shit a lot. But you want a good example of a film that straight up just tells you how it is, what reality's like. Check out the movie Idiocracy. You will thank me. It's a comedy, but it's so prophetic. And I think it was made in the 90s, and it, like, kind of like Demolition Man, it kind of predicted certain, it's kind of ironic, because both are comedies, but both straight up predicted the situation we live in now. Demolition Man straight up predicted, internet culture nowadays. Easily offended, wants everything sanitized, a bunch of safe spaces. Words are considered harmful. Even violent. My nihilism is coming out quite thoroughly. I sense it. Hey, Pierce. Welcome. Yo, what up, Damark? Oh, a nice painting so far. How are you, Asmo? I'm okay. I'm okay. Just doing my best to replicate these bad boys over here. And try and make everything look as good. Remotely, anyway. Just in the early process of batch painting. Batch painting can be very frustrating, but worth it in the end when you see the end result. Wholesomeness. I can drink to that.
Embrace wholesomeness.
Embrace the true way of humanity. Ha 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 ha.
Embrace your inner light, you godly man.
Sorry. So, Britas Vult. I find that a lot of good comedy always has some element of truth to it. That's exactly what makes it work. The best comedy sheds a light on the darker side. That's the thing. A lot of people that get offended by jokes and shit don't understand what the whole concept of comedy is. Humor and jokes, they're all about making fun of dark stuff. Like, the thing is, everybody is under this delusion that, like, oh, comedy makes me laugh, therefore it's positive, therefore it should only cover good things. It shouldn't, it shouldn't cover bad things. So when a comedian covers testy subjects, like grape, remove the G, or a comedian tries to cover, I don't know, a political issue or a social issue, makes fun of certain minority groups, everyone gets up in arms and talks about that comedian like they're the worst person on the planet. But the thing is, they don't seem to realize that the whole point of jokes is to take there's two big points to humor and jokes and comedy, and one of those is humbleness. Like, a huge part of comedy and humor, the point of it is to remind ourselves that we're human, to remind ourselves that we're people, we are flawed, we have issues, we make mistakes. And instead of being ashamed of those mistakes and never getting past them, look at the mistakes, look at the bad, and not even necessarily mistakes, but also just bad times in general, bad things that have happened, horrible people that have existed. Comedy's point is to take away the power of negative things. So for a pretty damn good example, Charlie Chaplin, I believe, was the one who did this. But Charlie Chaplin made fun of Mr. Adolf. You know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say his last name because his last name is the one that usually gets hit in the algorithm. But Mr. Adolf, you know who he is. He is a horrible person, obviously. Like, that goes without saying. He did some of the most evil shit on the planet. And modern, like, Twitterites and shit would say you're not allowed to make jokes about Mr. Adolf. You're not allowed to make jokes about him. You're not allowed to make jokes about the regime he started. But what they don't seem to understand, and the thing is, if you do make jokes about that stuff, they say you support it. They say, oh, you're advocating for it. That's not how it is. In fact, it's the opposite. When you joke about something, when you mock it, when you present it as something humorous, in fact, you're doing the opposite of supporting it. You're belittling it. Yeah, even if it is you jokingly taking the side of it, it's from a humorous perspective. Like you are turning it into something comedic. You are turning it into something to be mocked and to be considered absurd. That is far more powerful and pungent to actually kill off an ideology or what some would label an evil perspective or an evil ideology. What truly kills those things is not guns, it's not fists, it's not punching people, it's not threatening them, it's not sending people to a gulag, none of those things destroy an idea. You destroy the people who might have come up with the idea. You can try and erase all records of it. But human beings, we tend to repeat shit. So, all you do by doing that is guarantee it'll happen again. And this time, they'll just think they came up with it originally when in fact it existed before. But the idea once the idea is come up with, it'll never die. It'll proliferate. The moment other people know of the idea, they circulate it in some capacity. You can't kill an idea with fists. You can't do it with chains. You can't do it with guns. You can't do it with any of that stuff. But what does kill, not necessarily kills it, but what keeps an ideology or an idea at bay, what keeps something dark away, is not spreading a sense of fear of it, but in fact mocking it. The thing is, people can be intrigued by what makes them afraid. Like, if I'm afraid of something, I could be intrigued by that. And I can look into it, and then that can sometimes lead to people, especially if they feel disenfranchised, they feel something's wrong with the world. Once they read into the more propaganda-based stuff of that harmful ideology or concept, and, they're not going to buy into it just because they, look it up or anything. It's not that. I'm not trying to claim that, and anyone who does is an idiot. But but you do open the door to it if you make it something scary. Because if it's something scary, the first question everybody's going to ask is, why is it scary? If it's such an abhorrent idea that no one would ever practice, why would you be afraid of it? Unless you have a fear that it will come back. And if so, that people must support it. And if people support it, why? And, after a little while, that might lead to someone looking into it. And if they feel disenfranchised, they feel belittled, they feel that the system they live under, as much as it might logically and objectively work, they now feel the desire or possible leaning towards something like that. And again, not just because they read about it, but because of the circumstances they find themselves in. So, at the end of the day, we need comedy. We need humor. We need the ability to hold up a light to the shittiest aspects of humanity and to the shittiest elements of the world and mock them. We need to be able to make fun of ourselves. We need to be able to look at ourselves and make fun of everything from the most petty, minuscule things about us to the most broad, overreaching things about us. We need to look at everything and be able to laugh at it. You need to be able to laugh at your race. You need to be able to laugh at your sex, your sexual orientation. You need to be able to laugh at every single aspect about yourself. Because if you can, and you can accept the humor in what you are, that is what true acceptance of oneself is. You want to know the people who've adjusted most and are truly the most comfortable in their own skin? Those are the people who can joke about themselves the most. The people who can laugh at themselves in the mirror in the morning and truly not feel sad about it, but truly just look at themselves and go, wow, I'm such a weirdo. Those are the people who are the most secure. Those are the people who are the most mentally well. And those are the people who are the most comfortable in their own skin. If you are incapable of making fun of yourself, if you're incapable of looking at the pettier, broader, more simplistic aspects about yourself, like your identity and what makes up the aspects of your identity, from everything from orientation, gender identity, all of it. If you can't make fun of it, that means you're insecure. That means there's something about it that you feel can be targeted and hurt by someone else's words. And there's something about their words that hits home for you. Something that bothers you about it and makes you feel uncomfortable within yourself because you're forced to reflect on not necessarily the most negative aspects about it, but the more softer, weaker aspects of something about yourself. And this goes for everything. This isn't just orientation stuff. It's it's your religion. It's your favorite sport. It's literally every aspect about yourself. If there's any part about it that you feel no one can joke about, or no one can at least try to, and you, especially if you get violently angry about it, that is how, in my opinion, you know what part of you is the weakest. What part about you are you the most insecure about? What about your own identity, subconsciously or consciously, you are the most you're the most unsure of, the most lacking of solid basis or ground, it's going to be the stuff that you can't make fun of yourself, and you can't allow others to either. That's the part of yourself you need to work on, in my opinion. Yeah. Humor is incredibly important. And the fact that we're killing it off day by day, and we're starting to add rules to it. We're starting to say you're not allowed to make fun of this, you're not allowed to make fun of that. All we're doing is, as a society, agreeing that there's an elite group that's not allowed to be mocked or made fun of. And we're simply saying that we're so weak, insecure, and unsure of ourselves in something that we don't allow others to make fun of it, because if they do, we acknowledge that there's something. Basically, no matter how much you might say, like, oh, there's no truth in that. Well, if there wasn't, why does the joke offend you? Why does the joke offend you if there's no truth to it? If there's nothing that hits home, why would it offend you? Like if someone were to call me, if someone were to call me, what's a word? What that won't get me in trouble. If someone were to call me, I don't think the algorithm will get me for this, but if someone were to call me a dyke, first of all, it makes no sense. Because, you know, and we all know that, like, that word's, like, the derogative term for, like, if you're a lesbian, right? It's derogatory, it's rude, it's obnoxious, but it's a word that exists. But if someone were to call me that, at best I would chuckle, because it makes no sense. Right? Like, it makes no sense. Like, that sounds like a weird shock jock joke. It's like, okay, I'm not, but okay. Now it could be a joke about, you know, saying, it could be a joke about your masculinity. That might be what they're targeting. But again, if that offends you and that gets to you, that shows that's what you're insecure about. But for me, I would just laugh. I'd be like, dude, that missed the mark so hard. Please try an actual effective, like, zinger. Come on. I believe in you. I believe you have the power. You have the power! But yeah, it wouldn't get to me, because there'd be nothing about it that I find true. So if someone says something bad about you, but it has absolutely no basis in truth, you wouldn't be offended by it. Because it'd just be ridiculous. It wouldn't even be worth entertaining. Now, obviously, if someone makes aspersions about your character that are, like, criminal and stuff, and are cruel, and you get offended by that, that's different. Because in that case, it's not like a joke about you or anything. It's like if someone, like, accuses you of something, like, oh, that guy, you know, he does some crazy stuff. If someone accuses you of something, it's not a joke. That's just defamation. But if someone makes a joke about you that's just plain out wrong, it's an actual joke, not like an accusation that someone calls a joke. Yeah, why would that offend you? It's like, oh, you missed the mark. You didn't, you know, if you're gonna make a joke about me, actually make a zinger, you know. Say something that is correct, that's real, that'll actually get me, like, my heckles up. Because that's gonna be the funnier joke. So yeah, in short, people need to learn to laugh again. People really need to learn to laugh again. Because the moment society is incapable of laughing at itself is the moment we all crash and burn. I stand by that. Call me a nihilist, call me a negative Nancy, call me whatever the hell you want, but I stand by that. That is the unfortunate truth. The true fall of society, in my opinion, is when you can no longer crack jokes. That's why Scotland looks like a hellscape to me. Because after what they did to Count Dankula, like, Jesus, I'm like, that's a place I'm never living. And if I visit it, it's like for a day. I would stay there a fucking day. That is it. People need to get their sticks out of their bums and laugh. Yes, they do. And this goes for everybody, by the way. No one's like innocent of this. Like, sorry, no one is not guilty of like turning jokes into weapons to club somebody over the head with and say like because you made this joke you're a bad person. It's like, no, it's just they tried to make a dark joke and it didn't work. Great. You know, if your plumber accidentally screwed a popping wrong, you'd be mad, yeah, but you'd be like, okay, dude, just do better. Otherwise I'm not paying you. Like, do your job that I'm paying you to do and you'll get your paycheck. And if he doesn't, you leave a bad review. You don't threaten his life out into a van. Thank you, the Supreme Court justice we truly need. Oh god, that was hilarious. Like, that shit that went down, that was comedy gold. Like, because the rage people were throwing at him that clearly didn't get it was a joke and that didn't even see the quite frank crappy Photoshop that was done. Not the worst Photoshop I've ever done, but sorry, I've ever done that anyone's ever done. But it's not like the best either. Like, you just zoom in on that picture, it's clearly a Photoshop. It's clearly a Photoshop. But no, these people lost their shit and at him and like targeted him and hated on him and talked to him like he was an actual court judge and fucking A. It was brilliant. Oh god. Jokes like that are just fucking like trolls like that are god tier. Oh, that was god tier. Okay, so I'm gonna try and get this last one, and with the Corvus Black, and then I gotta. Unfortunately, I do work tomorrow, so I do gotta sign off soon here, within the next few minutes. So I'm gonna try and quickly apply the Corvus Black to all the necessary areas. Head off to Dreamland. I'll probably wake up and try and hammer more of this guy out and shit. To be fair, that's all it needed to fly and be accepted as genuine on Twitter. True. I mean, that's all truth is over on Twitter. Did someone say something? Yeah, well, it must be true. Unless I don't personally agree with it, then it's not true. Even if there's evidence to back it up. Like I said, people need to laugh. People need to laugh at ourselves, need to joke at ourselves, otherwise we're screwed. Like, I don't think comedians like Ralphie May could exist nowadays. I remember how offensive he was, Jesus. And that's what made him so fucking funny. The same with all the great comedians, really. Like, some of the best comedians ever were the most offensive. You got Bill Burr, you got Dave Chappelle, Ralphie May. These guys were legends. George Carlin, I mean, you can't even really mention testy, controversial comedians without bringing up George Carlin. And George Carlin went after everything, man. Like, that guy was a real comedian. There was no such thing as something you couldn't joke about to that man. I still remember one of his older bits where he like pointed out like how many words we have to describe bad language or foul language. In fact, we have more words to describe using bad words or a bad word than we do bad words. That's still good. I recommend everybody look up that bit. It's on YouTube somewhere. I don't know, type in something like George Carlin bad language bit or something like that. You'll laugh your head off because it's funny as fuck. Norm Macdonald, George Carlin, Robin Williams, yes. Nah, Robin Williams is probably well, No, actually, I take that back, because some of his bits did push the line. But, you know, Robin Williams generally is probably a softer comedian than, was. It still hurts to say was. He was a softer comedian than most, but he was still great. He still made fun of stuff, and the fact that he would actually be considered a hard-hitting comedian now. That's the crazy thing. Like, he'd be considered hard now for like the jokes he made over the years. It's kind of a scary thought for such a kind of kind-hearted person. He would probably get raked over the coals nowadays. May he rest in peace, a beautiful man. Well, it always feels awkward to say stuff like that about like a celebrity, because you know you gotta know like some of what they show like in the public eye isn't who they really are, or necessarily all of who they really are. Just the best bits, it's the curated bits. But I like to think that Robin Williams is one of those people that I did get a sense of. Obviously, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong by that, but I kind of hope he was what I thought he was and what he came off which was an amazing man and a great comedian and a great actor. A truly great actor. Played some of my favorite characters of all time, not just like the genie and shit, but he also played the teacher in Dead Poets Society. He played the therapist in movie name. It always Good Will Hunting. Yeah. He also played the robot guy in. Actually, I think the movie was called Robot, but don't quote me. Like so, Flubber. Flubber was amazing. Hook. Oh god, that movie's legendary, and I consider it a 10 out of 10. Will be for all time, and I think every parent should be legally required to make their kids watch Hook. By law, I do feel like this should be instigated into our legal system. And I know most true, good people will agree with me that movie is a fundamental requirement for the upbringing of a child. So yeah, Hook is mandatory for all children of all time. Oh god, that was such a good movie. Again, my generation, I stand by, grew up with the best stuff. We had the memorabilia of the 80s and the 70s, but we also had movies coming out during our time that were just fucking amazing, and we had video games that were starting to crop up, and when that was brand new, and yeah, like we had some of the best shit, man. Patch Adams, Good Morning Vietnam. Good Morning Vietnam was legend, man. I love that movie. I watch it every summer for some reason. When it's hot and buggy out, I'm like, for some reason I want to watch Good Morning Vietnam. I still love that movie. I can't think of a single Robin Williams film that I didn't like. There might be some I don't revere as much, but I can't think of one that he was in that I... Oh, Mrs. Doubtfire. I mean, oh, God, that movie. That was amazing. Oh, fucking... Toodaloo! You gotta know he had fun on that one. Mork and Mindy as well. Mork and Mindy. Oh, that was great. Yeah, again, like everything I can think of. Popeye even Popeye, which was supposed to be one of his worst films, some people say. I like that movie. Like I like that. That was... I don't get why anybody disliked that. Yeah, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't like an Oscar-worthy film, but this was back when people didn't make films to be Oscars. Or be political. They just made good movies. Hey, Kriegsman. What's up, Asmogan? Not much. Batch painting. As much as I can before I gotta head off to Dreamland. Yeah, I'm trying to get them all to look as good as this one. Just finished up with some of that yourself? Nice, nice. Good to hear, good to hear.
Good to hear you're making solid progress.
Still working my way around, but I'm making pretty good progress. Yeah, batch painting the rest of these will get them out faster. Fortunately, I work tomorrow, so as soon as I get the black on this one, I'm gonna head to bed. I'm definitely gonna have to do a lot of corrective painting, which I'm not really excited for. But when you batch paint, you're trying to do it quickly. That's when you make mistakes, like painting black on red or red on black. Is painting Blood Ravens also a nice color scheme on those Blood Angels? Oh, you were painting them. Okay, you were painting a... Nice. I still think Blood Ravens are, I still think Blood Ravens, I think they gotta be, like, but, I think they're, successors of, the Blood Angels. I mean, I know that's a bit on the nose and a lot of people don't agree with it, just simply because it's like, well, that'd be too easy. I mean, it's in the name, Blood Angels, Blood Ravens, but it can't be that simple, you know? It's gotta be more complicated, it's gotta be more to it. I think that's kind of what they want you to think. I think they are supposed to be kind of a semi-direct descendant of Blood Angels that just don't remember. You know, it was cut out of their history. And they know everybody's gonna overthink the fuck out of it, and they're like, oh well, it can't be that, because it'd be too on the nose. It's like, well, it's GW, so... Well, I guess Relic would be the one credited for creating them, but whatever. Got the Corvus Black applied, as well as the gold studs on all of them. Sons of Magnus you may think so, but I don't agree.
I don't agree.
I think potentially Dark Angels because no Black Rage or Red Thirst. That doesn't necessarily mean they're not Blood Angels. It just means they didn't inherit that. They might be what the Lamenters were trying to be, which is successors of the Blood Angels without it. And that's kind of why they steal shit. I summoned Ludus. Hey, Ludus was in earlier, you know, he was in earlier. But he had to go do stuff. He had to go stuff. He had to go be a good man and do shit. In and out of the stream. Ah, okay. Alright. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream there, fellers. I gotta head to bed soon and go to work in the morning, cause yay. Next time I stream, I won't be painting. At least if I do paint Blood Angels, it won't be more normal Marines. It'll be something else. Either HQ. Hell, I might paint Dominion Zephon. Might paint him, and it'll be fun to do that anyway. So, but I won't. I'll paint something else because I know the last like 3 painting streams have been nothing but normal Blood Angels. I'm sure it's old by now. But. Yeah, did author not come and was mad that people guessed that the Blood Raven was TS and changes it? Yeah, did author not come and was mad that people guessed that the Blood Raven was TS? Thousand Suns. Okay, sorry. And changes it? I don't know. But that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, if someone guessed it right, wouldn't you be like, okay, they got it? Like, at that point, if you change it just because they get it right, it's like, okay, well, they'll never get it right then, because you'll just change it every time they get it right. It's like, okay, well, what's the whole point of that? Like for me, when I'm writing Warglaive, if people guess correctly, like, what happened to Earth and the Sol System and the Soul Galaxy, the Milky Way, if people guess it, I may not confirm it. Like, I may want to confirm it in my own way, like in an actual proper book or story. But I'm also not going to change it just because they guessed it. It's like, oh, okay, they guessed it. I just won't tell them they're right until the time comes. Like that's like the worst kind of writing, right? Like, that, in my opinion, if you ever want an example of a bad writer, look at one that does shit like that. Like, oh, they guessed it right. Well, now I gotta change it. They got it. They guessed it. It's like, okay, good. You laid a trail, and they followed the trail. People are clever. People will figure shit out. That's a good thing. You left a trail of breadcrumbs. Yeah, maybe you can feel bad you left it too obviously, but you can't just change the trail just because, people figured it out and followed it to the destination you wanted. It's like that's ridiculous. It's like, oh, they beat you there. Great, now you gotta change it? No, that's fucking ridiculous. Blood Ravens, their apparent Legion and Primarch are both unknown. Well, yeah, they are unknown. That's the thing. We're speculating here. I personally think they're Blood Angels. I think they're Blood Angels descendants, and I think people... Ah, shit. Bumped my tripod. I think people overthink it, and they're like, oh, well, they're Thousand Suns, or they're this, they're that. People guess everything but Blood Angels, and I think it's because people think it's too on the nose. Sometimes things are on the nose because they're on the nose, like they're correct. Like, I don't know. That's me. It's like, oh, well, they don't have the red thirst. Okay, that means they could just be what the Lamenters tried to be, and maybe a consequence of them losing the red thirst was because they lost their memory. They lost their history because they were probably absconded with, their gene seed was absconded with, corrected, and at the price of it, they lost their originator. They lost their originated stories and stuff. That I could easily see being an explanation. That's me though. Like I stand by it. Speculation, of course, but 2, 3 I've seen for Blood Ravens are 15th, 9th, and 1st Legions. Yeah, definitely 9th. Blood Angels without the red thirst. I mean, that's what the Lamenters were supposed to be, right? Like the Lamenters chapter were supposed to be were supposed to be the successful purging of the red thirst out of the gene seed of Sanguinius. Except A, that didn't work, and B, even if it did, with they seem to have traded off pretty badly, because considering Lamenters had the worst fucking cosmic luck of all time. I think at that point they were kind of wishing they had the red thirst over whatever Tzeentch just fucking hated them. That's what I'm telling you. But anyway, I've been going for too long here. Thank you guys so much for hanging. I know most of the stream was assembling Dominion Zephon, but I think it was worth it. Like, he came out pretty damn good, and I'm gonna be excited to work on him at some point. But I'll probably either do him next time, or maybe the Terminators, or maybe just a completely different faction for a stream, just so you know you guys don't get like blinded by all the red. But yeah, I will head out. Have a good one, guys. Bye bye.